Hey, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Shemel Shai, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, peace and salutation to the elect, and all the brothers pushing this work in sincerity and truth. This is Brother Tamayan from GMS Toronto coming at you with another video. As the world know, neo soul legend D'Angelo, which, Angelo goes back to angel, right? Messenger. I think his first name was Michael also, right? Let me see if that's true. Yeah, Michael D'Angelo. Yeah, so it's Michael the Archangel, and his last name is Angelo. That's his real name, right? Who was like God, an angel, right? Anyways, he died, I think the 14th, that was what, yesterday? Very talented man, right? Israelite. But a lot of brothers, you know, made some videos about his, like how the lifestyle that Jake's live while being under the sun, you know. Yes, he did live a very unhealthy lifestyle due to the fact that he was depressed. We don't know what he did in the industry, because when he came into the industry, he was very young. You can tell he was naive, also, right? Obviously, he probably got buck broke, you know, dealing with all these industry heavy hitters, and it wasn't, it's Jake also that did that to him. You can, because they're also gatekeepers, man, on our side, right? He died of a pancreatic cancer, cancer of the pancreas. This man, he was a heavy smoker. You can see it in his videos too. Back in the day, right? There's a video called "Cruising." When he was in the studio, pretty much playing the guitar, all this man did was smoke cigarettes, man. Right, and this thing leads to cancer. He drank heavily, right? Even before he died, I knew, because I used to listen to a lot of D'Angelo, Raphael Sadiq, right? Both of those guys are very talented, and Raphael Sadiq is, he's a con man. Learned that shit from Amalek, and D'Angelo, he didn't care about the money so much, but he got caught up in that lifestyle, man. Right? He got stressed out, right? When the whole him being a muscular and all that stuff, right? That he said that pretty much made him depressed because women will just come to the show. They didn't want to hear the music, and they just still throw panties on him at him on the stage and all. He couldn't deal with all that stuff, so that led to him eating unhealthy, smoking, drinking, doing drugs, right? Which led to his demise in the end, right? So this is hell, right? This is a man who seemed to have everything back in the '90s, right? The mid '90s, as a young man, early '20s, right? Because I thought this guy was like in his like '60s or something, because we knew about D'Angelo for a long time. I mean, he came out very, very young, right? Late teens, early '20s, right? But this is all the curses. It all goes back to the curses, man. Right? Brothers can go deeper when it comes to D'Angelo because, yeah, music was my thing, but I was never a musician like that, right? I knew a lot of history about these guys, right? A lot of brothers did a lot of research on these artists. To me, I didn't really feel anything when he died because, you know, this is the time of judgment, man. We're in the time of judgment right now, and everyone's going to be judged, right? And he got out he maybe he suffered because he was battling cancer, pancreatic cancer, but he got out scotch free because he's back in the spirit world, right? All the diseases that wasn't in Egypt. That's what the Lord said he was going to do to us, man. Deuteronomy 7 and 15. And also I got Deuteronomy 28 and 60 also. And the Lord will take away from thee sickness, all sickness, and I'll put um you know what? I'm not gonna get that one. It's 28 and 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Right? Jake was eating amazingly in Egypt, right? Um, they went through hell in Egypt. I think they had botches and stuff like that, right? Right. So in this time, you see Jake suffering from diabetes. Jake suffering from high blood pressure, hypertension. He's suffering from cancer. He's suffering from the gout, the king's disease, right? Because the Lord gave us a dietary law to follow. And if I made a video about the pulse diet from the book of Daniel, right? It gives you a balanced diet on how to eat. Jake will feed on a bunch of nasty shit, man. Right? He'll eat McDonald's on the daily. He'll drink soda. If you're still drinking soda in this time, then you have issues, man. Right? They'll eat that fucking pork. That's another thing that's destroying Jake's health, and they think it's a joke, right? They'll get high, you know. Yes, all of us are going through a lot of things, man. All of us are going through depression. All of us are going through a rough time. All of us, the devil's ruling, man. But this doesn't give you a get out of jail free card to go and get high, and so you can drown your pain. Hey, man, you gotta fucking deal with that pain, man. You gotta deal with that depression. You gotta deal with that, whatever you're feeling, anxiety. We all go through these things, man. Sometimes, you go through heartbreak. You lose a loved one, right? We're in hell, man. This is under the sun. This is the place of judgment, right? But Jake don't want to deal with that. He want to turn into an Edomite and run away, and drown his sorrows, right? Hey, man, the men of the Lord make his men to face that shit head on. Yes, it's gonna hurt. It's not gonna feel good, but the Lord put that in us for us to face this head on, man. Right? And pray about it. But Jake, he wants an easy way out. But this is all about the curses, man. D'Angelo had to die because he wasn't following the Lord. He wasn't a part of the Lord's plan to wake up the elect, right? Plus, he wasn't following the dietary laws. He wasn't following the ways of how the Lord told the Israelites to live. And once the Lord tells you in Deuteronomy 28, once you don't follow these things, these is what's going to come upon you, right? Let's get Deuteronomy 28. Yep. The Lord told you, man. 28 and 60. Right? Right. And it says here, Deuteronomy 28 and 58, if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, right? And it goes back to the covenant that he made, right? And that agreement that we made with Yahweh Shemel Shai in the wilderness, and this is perpetual in perpetuity, right? Forever. So doesn't matter where you go, doesn't matter where you stay, right? Doesn't matter what country you're in, as long as your lineage goes back to these people and the covenant that the Lord made with these people, hey, you're gonna get affected, man. That thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahweh Shem Shai, the Lord thy power, which is Yahweh right there, right? The Lord will make the plague wonderful, thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed. So you see who's gonna catch it? Not just you, your seed, man, right? Your children. And great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, right? And of long continuance. And it goes back here. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, thou which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of the law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. And when I just first read that, when I just came into the knowledge, I thought when he said destroyed, like that was gonna destroy the whole nation of Israel. No, it's just gonna be a thorn in our side. Some of us are gonna die from those diseases, right? If we don't follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? And some of us are gonna be plagued with them, right? Until the Lord brings healing in His wings and heal the elect, man, right? And heal our people from these diseases. But men like D'Angelo, they live lifestyles that's against Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? You can't be getting high, you can't be drinking excessively to the point where you're gonna fucking destroy yourself, right? And he's not the only one. Majority of our people, this is what they do on a Saturday, on a Sunday, on a Monday, the club going up on a Tuesday. This is what they do, man. So D'Angelo is just another example of what not to do and how not to live. Because you're not supposed to abuse your body, right? He abused his body, right? Like one of the brothers mentioned, this is a vessel, man, for your spirit and for your soul, right? It covers. This is what the soul. This is what covers your soul, right? So you got to take care of. This is the temple of the Lord, man. The temple of the Lord, which is your body. Temple of God, right? Let's get that King James version. Know ye not, this is the Israelites, 1 Corinthians 3:16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, right? So this goes into the church itself, right? But us Israelites are supposed to be the representation of Yahweh Shem Shai on the planet Earth, right? But this is going straightly into the elect. But as a physical, our body is also a temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. So you're supposed to take care of your body, man. I don't want to throw up. It says in verse 17, if any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy, which is Yahweh destroy right here for the temple of Yahweh is holy, which temple ye are. So this is twofold. This is also talking about the church, right? The elect men of Yahweh Shem Shai, but also it talks about your body, man, your physical body, which is a temple, right? Your body is a temple of the Heavenly Father. He made this. He put you in this body, so you cannot disrespect this body, right? You cannot destroy your body. You cannot do drugs, right, to destroy your mind. That brings demons into your body. This goes deep, man, right? And it's not just a physical, it's also a spiritual thing to not destroy your body. You open up portals in your mind, and that can lead to you doing things to yourself, right? So drugs, that's a no-no. Smoking cigarettes and weed, that's a no-no. Drinking to the point where you're throwing up on yourself, getting drunk every day, that's a no-no, right? You're supposed to live a healthy life, man. Right? I know the foods are defiled here, but you're supposed to do the best of your ability, man, right? Because there's consequences that comes with living a certain lifestyle, which is diseases, sicknesses, right? There's a song that came out. I'm gonna bring that out. I think I made a video about this like 10 years ago, about a reggae song. Jah will give you diseases. Let's see if I can remember that song. Michigan and Smiley, right? No, that's not the one. Michigan and Smiley. Diseases. Even these brothers knew about They were warning our people, right, about the diseases if they don't if they don't get right, right? It says here, the intro, only give thanks and praise unto the Most High, right? Because he should be the closer protector to a man, because of all things are abomination to the Lord, right? So it's going into your foods and amongst other things. Because every day the girls dress up in the trousers, I say, what happened to your skirts and blouses? Why can't I, why can't I, man, see you in the dresses, right? So this was also a time when these women were pretty much trying to be men. That whole feminist nonsense from the 70s and 80s, right? So they're wearing blouses, they're wearing men's pants, right? And he's just saying, hey, why can't I see you in your dresses, man? Because them things, una jaja not pleases, right? Jaja means, he, right? But they're Rastas, so they think that's the name of the Heavenly Father. And every day, they will worship vanities, and greatest lust is jewelries. So here we go. The chorus, Manja, which is, they think that the Heavenly Father name is Jah. Mind Jah, lick you with diseases. Hey, mind Jah, lick you with diseases. The most dangerous diseases, huh? I say the most dangerous diseases. I'm talking like elephantitis. The other one is poliomyelitis. Right? These are diseases that's not mentioned in the Bible. Arthritis and diabetes. So it's all, it all rhymes. If you hear them sing it, it's an amazing song. Right? So these are all diseases like, that's not mentioned in the scriptures. But the Lord is plaguing our people with them. Right? And this is biblical. Verse 2. And he goes into the scriptures here because every day that I turn in my Bible pages from Proverbs forward to Genesis and Revelation, weekly Ecclesiastes, right? But let me tell you, say, me wisdom increases, and the lust have the world, it decreases. So we're pretty much saying the lust of the world goes away when he reads the scriptures, right? While every day man build explosives, which is going into the scripture, the missiles, the corruption of the world it exposes. So he goes back into the diseases again. But this is a beautiful song. I used to listen to this all the time. All right, but I mentioned this song because it goes into the diseases that weren't mentioned in the scriptures. But the Lord tells you he's going to plague us with the diseases that's not mentioned in the Bible, right? Men were pretty much plagued with botches and, different diseases back then in Egypt. But this is a different time. These are different diseases because they're deadly, right? Elephantitis, poliomyelitis, diabetes is the number one cause of you jakes dying, man, right? High blood pressure, right? Because of an unhealthy lifestyle. So the Lord gave us a dietary law for a reason. And if you people, like you Christians, always talk about the law's done away with and you can eat whatever the fuck you want. But I can tell you this. You go ahead and eat what you want. How many fat, out of shape, disease-ridden people are in the Christian church? Many. Okay? Due to the fact that they're not following the dietary laws that the Lord gave us. I'm not going to read them out. But I'm just going to get Leviticus 11. Leviticus 11. Right? It tells you here. These are the dietary laws. And I'm going to just read the beginning. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among the beasts, among all the beasts that are on the planet earth, whosoever part of the hoof, and it goes into your your beast that eats grass. Tells you in verse 7 you're not supposed to eat the pork, and this is the main thing that you jakes like to eat. Even just now I was watching a video about these niggas eating porcupines, man. Right? See? All here. All the way down here. These are all the stuff you're not supposed to eat. And another thing that you niggas like to eat are these fish with scales. Fish without scales, sorry. Right? Your shrimps, your crabs, your lobster. These are all abomination. Right? And they add up. They slowly add up until you get to a certain age, and next thing you know, something's happening to you. You have diabetes, have hypertension, and you're like, oh, what did I do? Right? You were eating these things in a young age, man. Right? And I think dietary law. I think Deuteronomy also Deuteronomy 20. Yeah, Deuteronomy 14, right? 14 chapter on clean and unclean food. So you are the children of Israel. So okay, you are the children of the Lord, your power. Do not cut yourselves or shave. Okay. Do not eat any detestable thing that are these animals. You may eat the ox, the sheep, the goat, the deer, we can eat the gazelle also. The roe, the deer, the wild goat. So the ibex, the antelope. These are all, look at all these options you get, right, that you can eat. The mountain sheep, right? Those are that chew their cud. The pig is also unclean. Although it divide the hoof, it does not chew the cud. You are not to eat their meat and touch their carcasses. So it goes into the scales also, the fishes and the vultures. Same thing happened in Leviticus the 11th chapter. It's happening here in Deuteronomy the 14th chapter, right? And it all leads to an unhealthy lifestyle when you eat these things, right? And if you can eat these things, that means you can smoke these drugs and get super drunk and super wasted, right? And inject all kind of things into your veins, sniff all kind of things into your nose, and that leads to you dying, whether you want to believe that or not. Shalom.